What is going on, guys? It is Monstrotto coming to you yet with another video, this time from another dimension, because today we are going to be discussing about the new Twilight Zone coming out this year, 2019. Just kind of gonna get my thoughts out, kind of what I think of it. I want to know your opinions as well too, but I just wanted to go ahead and start by saying, first off the bat, that I think that you could not pick or choose a better host than Jordan Peele to host it. I love the guy's imagination. He does everything as well as he can, and it comes out almost perfect. I mean, he can do any genre that he would want to, and I think him hosting the Twilight Zone, it makes sense. I think he's going to do very good in that aspect, and I think he's going to be very comfortable as well. But just wanted to kind of discuss kind of, you know, the CBS. I know it's on All Access, which is their new streaming service, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you. If I talk to people about, you know, Twilight Zone episodes, of course, it's the old black and white episodes, the old classic with, you know, Rod Serling, and it kind of plays on the memories that they're trying to get you back into the service for. Or if you haven't had the service, to go ahead and pay up in order to watch a show that you used to love. And then you still also have commercials too as well. Kind of have a problem with that along those lines. I really do hope that it does well this time. I know that it has failed the two reboots for so many reasons. People keep crying out, you know, it was this or it was that, or, you know, advertising, it was the way it was, you know, put out, directed, whatever. The fact of the matter is that they still failed. But I really hope that this does do good for what it is, even though it's for a streaming service. I hope that they put in as much as they can for the quality. Rod Serling would always push for quality over anything. He traded so many shows, so many movies that he could have worked on just for, you know, money if he wanted to, but he didn't, because the quality of those were not up to his par. He would have his name with it. He knew that, and he wasn't going to put his name with anything that basically didn't deserve it or that he didn't want to. But don't just let me say that on his behalf, because I have a couple clips that I want to show you of his interview, which, by the way, is public domain. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those clips real quick, and go ahead and let Mr. Serling tell you his point of view.
This sounds defensive, and it probably sounds phony, but I'm not nearly as concerned with the money to be made on this show as I am with the quality of it. And I can prove that. I have a contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer which guarantees me something in the neighborhood of $250,000 over a period of 3 years. This is a contract I'm trying to break and get out of, so I can devote time to a series which is very iffy, which is a very problematical thing. It's only guaranteed 26 weeks, and if it only goes 26 weeks and stops, I'll have lost a great deal of money. The essence of my argument, Mike, is that as long as you are not ashamed of anything you write, if you're a writer, as long as you're not ashamed of anything you perform if you're an actor, and I'm not ashamed of doing a television series. I could have done probably 30 or 40 film series over the past 5 years. I presume at least I've turned down that many, with great guarantees of cash, with great guarantees of financial security, but I've turned them down because I didn't like them. I did not think they were quality, and God knows they were commercial.
So there you have it. I mean, the quality of any show, anything that he would write or direct or screenwrite, anything, it would have to be of good quality, because if not, he wasn't going to put his name with it. And even though he did sell it to CBS, the Twilight Zone still has his name attached to it. He always has, and it always will be his name attached to it. That's why I hope that it does good. I hope that it brings us back to what it used to meant, what it stood for, because With Serling, it was always open-ended. Like at the end of a lot of the episodes, it was for us to decide, what would happen to this guy, or, what happened to them, or did he, was he really there, was he in the dimension? There's so many more questions that came up when it ended than what we started with in the episode. I really hope that they continue that, but I also hope that they don't remake it to where it continues off, to where we lose that wonder of, what happened, what could have happened, and then it just starts right back up and we're like, oh, well, I guess, that's what happened. I really, really hope that CBS can do this in a manner that is respectful to Mr. Serling, and I really hope that they keep his virtues the same in the show. I don't know if they're going to or not, because Mr. Serling wouldn't put in the modern, his political views into any of the episodes. There's not like, any party or any sides, politically, and that was the way that he, wanted it. It was the Twilight Zone. It didn't need that. It was another dimension. I hope that they don't put any of that in, or any social problems that we have, because Serling never really put in any social problems of the modern day, in his era.
We're going to be obviously working so hard on the Twilight Zone that, in essence, for the time being and for the foreseeable future, you've given up on writing anything important for television, right?
Yeah. Again, this is a semantic thing. Important for television? I don't know. If by important you mean I'm not going to try to delve into current social problems dramatically, you're quite right. I'm not.
It was another dimension. It was its own dimension, and it was an extension of him. I really hope that they do keep it like that and don't try to, commercialize. Well, I mean, technically they've already, commercialized it. You're paying for, episodes of a show that you used to love. $10 if you don't want to watch the commercials, which I mean, you're paying monthly for everything nowadays anyway. I probably should have seen this coming, but I didn't. Phones, if you want to get a new phone, you pay monthly to pay that off. You want Photoshop or Adobe Effects, hey, you can buy it outright. Nope, you gotta pay monthly, continuously, just to own it. Streaming services, off the chart, monthly now. No more buying, DVD sets of shows. It's all on these streaming services. And I hate to see that happen to a show that I personally love, that Serling made so much hard work and effort off an extension of himself to bring us to this. But at the same time, like I said, I hope that it succeeds. I really do. Probably what I'll do is I'll wait till there are episodes, do the free trial, watch as many as I can, and then, kind of hopefully post up another video, kind of returning to this subject. Jordan, if you ever come across this video, first off, you need to get yourself a life. Second off is that I really, really hope that you learn something from Mr. Serling. Do as much research as you can, and don't put your name to anything that's not quality. Just make sure that, if your name is attached to something, that it's something that you want to do full throttle. I think that the Twilight Zone is a good match for you. You're going to be an awesome host for it, but I just hope that CBS, because I know that Serling had his wars, his battles with, so many, sponsorships and the people that wanted to take his direction, and he had to fight for it. To not put in sponsors, to not put in products, to not, product placements, everything like that. And I really hope for his sake that it goes well, for Jordan's sake that it does well, and it helps to keep, launching him into the stratosphere, or into the Twilight Zone, I should say. So I'm really hoping this does good, but at the same time, I really hope they don't commercialize it, politicize it, any of that stuff that Serling would not want. So I will be keeping my eye on this one, hoping that it does turn out well. And I just want to wish CBS, Jordan Peele, everybody who is involved, the best of luck. And remember that it was Mr. Serling that made it all possible. So if you haven't subscribed already, do it. Like the video, and as I always say to my Monstrotto family, stay sexy, you beasts.
It's a suggestion made by many people that you can't have public acceptance and still be artistic. And as I say, I have to reject that.